What's up, guys? My name is Chaotic. I hope you guys are staying high, staying lifted, and I'll come back at you guys with a good video today, and this one's going to be an interesting one. Leave down in the comments if you ever experienced this, and it's another having a seizure episode, unfortunately. So this one's going to be about me having a seizure on acid specifically, because this time was the only time where, like, I had a bad trip to this extent off the acid, right? And it was just the most, like, fucked I've ever felt. And it wasn't like the having a seizure on shrooms, like, type of a seizure. It wasn't a full-on seizure, but I'll get into that later in the video. So, yeah, man. So stay tuned for that. You know, grab a snack. You know, get high, man, and yeah, enjoy this video. So yeah, let me dive right into it. So, all right, this video took place around. This story took place around about September of 2018. I think it was September 2018, and so it's been 4 years almost. So 4 years ago, I was fucking around with a lot of Molly, and I was doing a lot of weird shit, right? So I believe it played a role in, like, how my brain was, like, interpreting, you know, like, stress. So basically, like, my brain was a little too stressed out, and, you know, these drugs kind of make it, you know, when you do it around the times that you are like that, they can make it, you know, come out, and these weird symptoms can come out and totally, like, mess up with your, you know, fucking trip. So, but that's you know, I kind of combined something with LSD. So, you know, that the day starts out, okay. So I combine caffeine with LSD, which is their dumb mistake. Do not do that. So the day starts out, you know, we're just chilling with my friends. You know, we're all in San Diego, and we're just, you know, we're playing, like, I bring acid, right? You know, I come that day. I remember I come that very night with acid, and that same video I made, I think about a year ago, taking acid on the train. This is this story took place the very next day after that, because I didn't sleep at all the whole night. I didn't sleep, and I took acid the next day, which is another thing. If harm reduction, do not ever take it again. And if you didn't sleep or you don't got rest, if you don't feel A-okay the next day, don't trip, man. It's just not worth it anyway. So, not worth it. Please save yourselves from a bad trip. So, yeah, I don't tend to get bad trips, but that time I did. And, oh, man. So, I wake up in the morning. I'm, of course, tired and slow. And I'm like, man, I still want a trip today. I wanted to trip with my friends. That was the whole point of me bringing the acid. So, but I also wanted to take acid on the train, which is fucking crazy. You know, I was like, okay, man, okay. I'm still going to do acid. I don't give a shit. So I drink coffee, right, to wake myself up. Probably not the best idea to do, because acid's going to wake you up anyway. But no, I wasn't really thinking. And I don't think I ever had an experience like that. I don't think I ever drank coffee with acid that, like, you know, right away in the morning. You know, I actually had something to eat too, I think, that day. So it wasn't just coffee, but it was mostly, like, just coffee. Like, when I woke up, just drank it. And so, you know, the coffee, I take the acid literally, like, within 5 or 10 minutes of the coffee. And the coffee, you know, I assume the coffee started kicking in later on. And no, the most effed up thing about this whole experience is that the trip started out fine. Like, I was, like, happy and everything, and it just started out fine. And then out of nowhere, I get this, like, sense of like, dread. This sense of, like, impending doom, which is what what happens before a seizure. So something starts feeling off. I start staring. I start having, like, a blank stare, right? And I start feeling. I'm like, oh shit, and I know exactly what I start feeling. I know this feeling. It feels like you're about to pass out, but not. But you know, like, it's gonna be. You know what it's gonna be. If you've had that feeling, it feels like passing out, but you know something's gonna happen when you pass out, or you might not even pass out. You know, because that's basically what a seizure is. You're kind of conscious, you know, but also unconscious. So I'm just sitting there. I literally start panic attacking because my heart just starts thumping and thumping. So it goes and then it just starts ramping up. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on, right? So I actually try to calm myself down. I'm like, I'm fine, dude. Like, what's going on? And then, like, I don't know where I just couldn't calm down anymore because my heart just started pounding, right? And this is also coincides with the time when the acid started to peak. So not only am I feeling the caffeine, but acid's starting to peak, and when the acid starts to peak, the caffeine must go into overdrive as well. So my brain is literally going overdrive mode, and I can only imagine what it looked like under a fucking, electrocardiogram, or, whatever they used to, analyze a brain. But basically, that my neurons were firing so much, I started like locking up. So I forced myself to lay down. I laid down on the ground, not in the best spot either, man, and it was just really hot this day. I also remember, I think that could have played a role in the stress, inducing. It could have been a stress-induced seizure. Not sure if that. I don't know though. It could be a complication. It could be something that didn't add any benefits, obviously. So I was just fucking like, oh man, something's about to happen. So I better lay down before I pass out and fucking hit the ground seizing or some shit. So I know that very thing I'm feeling. I lay down. I try to save myself from fucking seizing and hitting the ground, and I'm just laying there. I'm feeling it, dude. I'm feeling like I'm about to pass out, but not. I just can't pass out, right? So it was the weirdest fucking effect ever. And I don't know where my body locks up. So if any, so it's not like, okay, it's not like the locking up. It's like literally, it felt like I was paralyzed, right? So my body literally went fucking paralyzed. And I looked it up. It's actually a tonic-clonic seizure. It's a different type of seizure where your body locks up and you can't move. And everything in my body just started to like shut down. And it literally felt like I was dying. It was the most scariest shit I've ever freaking experienced in my life. I mean, I felt, if you're on acid, first of all, and you feel your body go paralyzed, dude, you're gonna flip the fuck out. So I start fucking screaming, calling 911, dude, and thank God I didn't get any cops calling me, and nobody rolled up, because, dude, I was fine, but I didn't feel like I was fine. I was beyond that. Like, I was paralyzed, man, and it was fucking scary. So my neurons just we're just going, and fucking just, dude, like, I was lucky I didn't start fucking seizing really bad. So I'm just laying there paralyzed. I'm freaking the fuck out. I literally can't even tell if I'm breathing or not. Like, I can't control my breaths, if that makes any sense. I couldn't feel my chest. All I could feel was like my heart rate and trying to calm it down, and the massive visuals. I was getting the fucking craziest visuals ever. Like, man, the colors just going wild, and I was just not enjoying it. I was like, make it end, man. I wanted it to end so bad. I've never had such a bad time on acid, and I've done it since then. I'm a crazy ass, but nah, man, that's how you know it was situational, and it was what I was doing around. So I knew it was the Molly abuse. I knew it was, not sleeping enough, the caffeine, the stress. I was like working, and also, so the stress of all that shit together, I'm pretty sure didn't react well, and based off of what I felt like, it was just very scary, man. And I remember friends were there, and they were actually tripping on acid too, man, which is fucked up. So I kind of scared them, and they kind of left. But they were on half a tab. They weren't on a much. I was on a tab and a half. Oh, and I didn't just take a tab. I was like, oh, I'm gonna take a half a more tab because I took a tab yesterday, right? No, don't ever do that, because you will still trip the very same next day. Don't ever try to do that, man, because if I didn't take the half a tab, I might have been able to not have this happen. It could have just been the extra half a tab that caused this reaction. I could have maybe just handled that one tab, maybe had a little bit of weird feeling, but maybe it wouldn't have caused such a bad reaction. But period blank, man, do not ever combine any stimulant with acid. Cocaine, nah, any of that shit, nah, dude. Do not combine that shit with acid. You can have a bad trip, or worse, you can have a seizure. And you don't want to have that, because your brain's already firing at will. It's already rocket Elon Musk speed, man. Like it's already firing its ass. Like, you don't want to stress it out. So just for harm reduction's sake, don't ever do that stuff. It was a really bad, mix of stuff that I did, and I was just like, man, what the hell's going on in my head? So yeah, I forgot to mention. So later on at night, I basically calmed down. My friend had to pour water on me. I woke up. I remember I woke up, and I still felt like I was fucking in the bad trip. So when I woke up, I felt like I was dying. I was like, and I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking dying again. And all of a sudden I realized, I was like, wait a second, I'm back. And all of a sudden, I looked at the time, and I was like, oh shit, but time just passed by a lot. So I realized my body literally forced itself to like shut down. It must have been because it didn't sleep, and it was like so stressed out. It was like, all right, guy, I'ma fucking sleep. I'ma just shut myself down, and yeah, that's gonna be it. So my body just forced itself to shut down. It was like, I am going to abort and just shut down. So I slept a little bit, and then I woke up and I was completely fine. I was completely fine. So like, I was like, what in the fuck was it? I think it was the sleep and, you know, stress. And I think my body literally couldn't handle the caffeine and the acid together, like with no sleep. So I had to force itself to shut down to get through this, you know, those effects, like those really bad negatives that it was giving me. It was just like, nah, man, you know, just chill out and, you know, put me to sleep. So it's kind of crazy, man, how that stuff just like put me to sleep. You know, it forced me to shut down. I woke up fine, and I was just like, man, fuck this. I'm never touching that shit again. I didn't touch it for a while after that, but you know, nowadays I'm fine. I'm doing it, and yeah, stay safe out there, guys, man. Don't ever take my advice. Don't ever do that. Don't combine no caffeine, nothing with no stimulants with acid, any psychedelic for that matter. And yeah, man. So hope you guys like the video. Stay high, stay lifted. And I'll see y'all next one. Peace.